you.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Hi, good morning. Thank you for inviting for this exciting session on this future generation technology or novel technology. This is really a future, we could say, when we use the technologies. Uh, for introducing myself, my name is Prashant Sharma. I'm heading IT department for Fresenius Kavi Oncology Limited. Fresenius is a pharmaceutical company working for Fresenius from last 12 years. I'm responsible for the operations for IT operations for India business as well as certain processes or projects at a global level. So, thank you for looking forward for exciting discussion.
Shivshant. I'm so sorry, Shivshant Kumar. Shivshant, we cannot hear you.
No.
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you just speak a little louder? Okay, I think Shivshant has gone offline, and we welcome our moderator, Rama Subramaniam R, Head IT TTK Prestige Limited. Where is Shivshant? Sir, we welcome you. I am Rajshri Datta Kumar, Program Director, Gov Connect, and I just hand it over to you now. Thank you.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah. So, Ms. Rajashri, Dr. Rajashri, could you just brief? I'm just joining now since I
I
was
have
trying in the earlier link. Yeah, you can give a small headsway so that I can start from here. Yeah.
okay. So,
Regret
sir,
for joining delayed.
I
Yeah.
welcomed everyone, and I requested Prashant. I thought that the panelists should introduce themselves. So we have just been through with Prashant's introduction, very one-liner, one very small, brief introduction by Prashant Sharma, and we were requesting Shivshant ji. He's not. I can't see him. So Shivshant was supposed to talk. Address about himself. Rest up to you, sir. We have just started. Kindly take it.
Great. Fantastic. Yeah, so I would like to introduce myself. I'm Rama Subramaniam, heading IT and IS at TTK Prestige. As you all know, TTK Prestige is the market leader in the home appliances segment. So, and as well, the organization is getting transformed into a modern day enterprise. Digital is the core enabler for our operations, and we are 70 plus years of legacy we have. So it's not only the technology, even we have to understand about the culture around that technology, which takes up the transformation here. So thanks for being part. I'm just honored to be part of this session as well as the events, and it is great to meet you all. I hope everyone are staying safe as well as healthy. That's very important at this point of time. Yeah.
All right,
Okay,
maybe I
we can
can
maybe.
go next. I hope I'm audible to everyone.
Yes.
Okay. My name is Satish Rai, and I happen to head the Fresenius Medical Care India division. I do have one of my colleague Prashant is also on this meeting. So welcome, Prashant. Happy to see you on this meeting. I do come up with the experience of 20 plus years and have been in leading role for almost 12 plus years till now, and I do have exposure into multiple areas. I have earlier worked in construction companies, also worked in export houses. For last, I guess, 14, 15 years, I've been associated with the medical devices, and that's my core area where I've been working. I've been with J&J. I was with Smith& Nephew and earlier and prior to this role, and have led multiple projects on SAP migration, or be it, there are multiple ERPs, BAN, Exapta, and multiple of them. Other than that, on digitization and automation project, I do have a lot of exposure and a lot of experience on working and leading some of them. So I think I'm looking forward to a great discussion on this topic. Yeah.
Hi, this is Rajesh Kulkarni. So just I'm doing. Thank you once again for everyone, as well as a part of panel member. I'm heading IT department in Wedgen India Private Limited. It is one of the leader in the road construction equipment manufacturing. It is earlier is a German brand, but since 2018 we are the part of John Deere team. And in India we are serving almost 25 years, so all local market, as well as now we are doing export also. And here my role is I'm in this organization since 10 years, complete IT infrastructure setup, as this is a greenfield project. So when our German team decided to put a plant in Pune, so we started in Pune, nearby Pune only, and we set up all IT infrastructure, SAP implementation, and all other applications, BI, everything. So this short description about me. Thank you.
So, hi everyone, good morning. Yeah, this is Shiv Shah. I hope I am audible to everyone.
There's the echo.
Okay. So I'm Senior Director and Head of HR Application at Jubilant Life Sciences. I led global implementation and support of Jubilant group companies across India and North America. I've been close to 9.5 years with Jubilant. I come from complete IT background, been into HCL, Wipro, and then a DXC earlier stage of my career, and been Jubilant, in transformation journey of when things were done in Excel and then now all automated in system, and that's how we have been driving and making things happen, and lot change into human life. And I would like to share that because now officially announced, Jubilant Life Sciences has been moved to Pharmoa Limited, and there is another entity being created in Grevia Limited. So Jubilant as a name, now Jubilant as a Life Sciences will, first from first Feb is changed to Pharmoa and in Grevia Limited, across countries, and that's all. So thanks being part of this Ignite 2021. And love to see we all going to talk on technologies, how things are getting simplified, how security is getting enabled, and of course we are going to help out there, because that's our day-to-day journey, day-to-day changes which we do all the time, making things happen, giving employees easy life to access the application and system, and that's how our whole experiences are made for. So thanks again to everyone, and happy to be part of this panel.
Okay, I can go next. Are you all able to hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So, Ketan Karkhanis, I head IT services for Clariant in India. Clariant is a chemical company. We are almost more than 100 years old in this industry, and we manufacture specialty chemicals. We are present in almost 60 countries worldwide. Um, I take care of the entire plant IT and other IT infrastructure across India, and we also run a captive shared services center in from Mumbai. So we cater to all the English speaking countries, and we do their back office. So even that is a part of the Clariant India setup, and the entire infrastructure is also taken care by me. So I'll really look forward for the discussion today, because I feel that SME and the entire technology surrounding SME and their overall planning is kind of a major subject to talk about, because SMEs, they almost cater to more than 40% of the India GDP, and I think it is very important that how do we take care of SME? How is the SMEs getting into the digitization culture, and so on and so forth. So I'm happy to be part of this panel, and I look forward to hear views from everyone. Thank you. So maybe Abhay, you want to go next?
You are mute.
Hello. Yeah,
Yeah.
I am Abhay and working with Adani Wilmar for last 7 years, and my major experience is in the CPG industry or consumer product industry, and worked globally, basically in supply chain planning, optimization, and digital transformation for last 4 or 5 years. And we are into consumer products, so more focus in the consumer enablement. On last 9 months, many things have changed, so more focusing on uh, uh, enabling business with right decision making tools, which include analytics component is the major focus area for us. Yeah.
Maybe Prashant, if you want to introduce again, because I think some of us missed your introduction. We can't. You are on mute, Prashant.
Sorry. Okay. I hope you can hear me.
Yeah.
I'm Prashant Sharma. I'm heading IT department for Fresenius Kabi Oncology Limited. Fresenius Kabi is a pharmaceutical company having a reach across multiple countries. So as you can see, my colleague Satish is there. So there are two business units. He belongs to Fresenius Medical Care. I belong to Fresenius Kabi. So two different. He had the business for medical care. I had IT for Kabi, Kabi. So we have a development center here as part of my role. So I'm heading a development center for India, using which we are supporting or selling skills also across the world, doing a lot of global project out of India or based out of Gurgaon. With that, I'm part of basically responsible for the operations for IT in India, as well as a couple of key projects for global level and regional level. I've been with this company from last 12 years, and I've been in multiple, pure IT company and financial companies in the past. And recently, I got another title of having this IIM alumnus, because I completed one program from IIM recently. So looking forward for all your views and exciting discussion to this session, to be part of this. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Over to you, Mr. Subramaniam.
Yeah, great to hear about everyone. Thanks for the introduction, and it is my pleasure to connect with each one of you. I could see a diverse community here. So, right from pharma, life sciences, consumer space like us, as well as manufacturing. So, it is great to connect you people. I would like to know that how digital is playing a role in each one of you with the COVID situation that has come across. Certainly, each one of us would have thought of the digital transformations that is happening. Could you, each one of you, share about how the digital presence, how the digital transformation is happening in your organizations? Yeah.
I start.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
yes.
Hi, yeah, this is Rajesh again from Virgin India. So maybe I will start with some background how digitally we need to uh, cope up the requirement what businesses need during COVID as well as before also. So just I will give brief background that Virgin India is a construction equipment manufacturer based in Pune, and we cater all across India business without dealer management. So all sales and service teams is managed by Virgin India. So basically, challenge is that how to connect the customers. Like we sell the machines as well as we do the services as well as we do annual maintenance contract of our machines to connect the customers and to cater the service customer services on time as well as spare part management. So that is one thing that how we need to connect. One is the availability of the engineers as well as availability. But SAP we don't have so many users to see the availability of the parts. But regional level they have availability of the parts. But simultaneously, before COVID also we already started some mobile application where customer can log the calls, customer can see the service status. But during COVID situation, we do some enhancement of this application where they can track their services as well as parts availability. This one thing is parts part availability and service engine availability, which my customer need to know. As well as during COVID, everybody is working from home. So as we deployed, fortunately before COVID, we deployed Office 365 along with the team. So most of the work is easy on the team to do the meetings and even meeting with the customers. Mostly it is happening on the team only. And as well as the data availability, like it is challenge because people are not traveling. I'm talking about the back-end support functions other than sales and service. Even though they work from home, they need to have a data to process the transaction like finance department, sourcing departments. So the availability of the data like SAP infrastructure as well as their share folder access. Again, we have done VPN integration with our firewall, and they will connect through VPN to our network, and it is available for them. So most of the things are available for employee point of view and service engineer point of view, but only still there is a challenge. Still there is a improvement we need to do. As during COVID situation, we decided okay, we need to application or data concerns also. So that is also still we are in improvement phase. But this is what we initiated during this COVID and before COVID situation for digital point of view.
Thanks, Mr. Rajesh. It's wonderful to see that accelerating the adoption and making the employees' readiness for the unprecedented COVID lockdown, and as well as gearing up to the new normal post the COVID
Yeah.
lockdown. We could understand that customer experience is important here. The customers are none other than our own employees, as well as the security. Security aspect is also very important. It's wonderful hearing from you. Now we could hear from the pharma as well as the healthcare, where Mr. Vishal can throw some insights about, especially during the unprecedented times. I think Mr. Vishal is not here. What we will do is we will hear from Mr. Ram Gopal. I think Ram Gopal is also not there. Let us hear from Mr. Ketan. So, how Clariant has geared up for the new normal, especially adopting the digital, and not only adopting, handholding the employees in a large process industry kind of a setup. You are in mute.
Sorry. Yeah. So thanks a lot. So talking firstly about digital, even prior to COVID, we took some digital initiatives, and and we saw the advantages during the COVID times. For example, one of the initiatives which we did few years back was do a distributor management system wherein the distributors can actually log into a portal, punch their orders, look at the order status, and all these things. Now, this was quite helpful in the COVID scenario, wherein we are not able to travel, there is a least there is less communications and so on and so forth. So that is where we really saw value in doing this. Then another digital initiative that we did, I think in 2019, was looking at the online marketplace, and we thought that okay, let's explore this part for chemical or specialty chemical industry, wherein customers could be able to buy something online, rather than calling someone, then going to the supply chain and all these things. So we partnered with a company called Chemocart. Okay, and Chemocart is a chemical, I mean, it's like an Amazon for chemical. Okay, and that worked quite well because a lot of the smaller orders, like the trial orders and all these things, in the COVID time, it was really difficult for other companies, whereas we used to get the orders from this portal and we could be able to process them, because this is with minimal human interaction or intervention, right? So this is where we really saw value. We have some future initiatives planned for digital, like we want to really explore the plant maintenance or predictive maintenance, because our plants have a lot of moving parts, and with the new digital technologies, we are able to really predict where will that particular machine go down, so that we can take a planned downtime and then do the needful rather than an unplanned downtime. This is something which we plan to do it once the situation gets a bit better. Also, we want to do something in energy optimization, because our plants normally use a lot of natural resources and energy. So that is something in plan. But I would say that we really saw value in a couple of initiatives that we did, and in the COVID times, that helped us. Now, apart from that, we remember, I told you that we've got a 200-seater shared services center, and it was the biggest challenge was how to run that call center, you can say, in COVID times, when the entire the offices are closed and all these things. And we the technology that we invested in allowed us to actually even run the call center from home. We had to take some approvals from the government, from DOT, but they were okay with this situation. And then it was a pleasant surprise even for the business that we were able to run this call center from home, and till now it is running from home. So a lot of technologies we use, like our VPN is quite fast, and we also use technologies like CrowdStrike, Zscaler, and all these things. We use a lot of online. So we went almost in 2015-16, we migrated to 365, and then everything of Microsoft is online, like our emails, our SharePoint, OneDrive for Business, and we use it extensively. And we saw all this really to our advantage in the COVID situation, wherein you are not able to get into office, you cannot do maintenance in the office, and all these things. So yeah, I think this is what we did for the COVID times. Yeah. Over to you, Mr. Subramaniam.
You hear me? Could you hear me, Mr. Ketan?
Yes.
Yeah. So I could say that the initiatives are not only well within the four walls or the perimeters of the organization. It goes beyond the perimeter, like taking the partners also and helping them, like distributors and others, during the pandemic. It's great to understand, and as well, we could understand from both of you, Mr. Ketan, as well as the earlier one, that see, it is not only the growth-centered digital transformations. Let us hear from others about how it is helping them in other areas like employee effectiveness, or bringing in the productivity improvements for manufacturing sector or life science sector, kind of a thing. So we will hear from Mr. Abe, how it has helped for them during these COVID times, how digital transformation has helped them in their pandemic period as well as post-pandemic.
Little bit during post. Hello.
Yeah, we could hear you, Mr. Abe.
Yeah, so we started our digital transformation journey almost 4 years back when we first decided that we will have cloud first strategy, then digital first strategy, and analytic first strategy. These are how we proceeded, and that was how our plan was. So first we moved all the application to the cloud. So that is the first thing. We have around 35 plus application which are more of a SaaS based, and the on premises are already moved. Our core application S4 HANA is also on the cloud. So that's how we moved that. If you have to serve business, you need to more focus on the business enablers, business technologies which can help you, which can help management in taking better decisions. Because now during last 3-4 years, if you see, the volume of data has increased tremendously. The old way of working in Excel will not survive us anymore. So what is needed is enabling the primary sales, secondary sales, distribution. Those are the one where we have focused and still working on that. Some of the technologies like IoT, edge computing, analytics, the another area where we have focused. So what we have done in that is we started with the critical machines, which are the constrained machines at the plant. And our objective was to reduce the downtime of those machines. So by having a edge computing plus, so that the supervisor or the operator at plant gets the information of in advance. Say example, temperature, boiler is there, temperature, pressure, sound, vibration. These are the things which we found that these are the component which contributes to the downtime of machine. So that's how we started controlling, and we started with pilot, and then it becomes the ownership was on the business. They started asking, yes, this solution is helping, and that's how we extended to other plants and machines. Same is the case with the operational efficiency. We are in the consumer products. So what happens is we have a packaging lines which are defined capacity, but actually we as an organization run at the lower capacity. So there is always pressure on the production team to produce more, but the way of working or the what are the constraint within plants are different. So what we started doing is again IoT based enablement, where business or HODs or the concern, like say if raw material is not there, then the procurement team is responsible. If order is not there, then the marketing team, sales and marketing. If logistic team, warehouse capacity is a constraint, then so those are the areas where we standardize the things and more did auto. Again, we did for plant maintenance, did the mobile aluminum in the plant. So that is another area. Logistic, we have many trucks going around per day across India. So there we enable that process, end-to-end process of logistics. So our target is to go towards the zero paperwork up to POD level, proof of delivery of the truck. We right now are working on real-time monitoring of the trucks. So any truck which is on the ground right now, where it is, when it is going to reach the destination, so that the depot is prepared for the, if the truck is reaching in the night, so you don't have to get the resource in the last minute. So that's where we are targeting, so that our damages cost or waiting time cost are reduced. As for HANA, already we did. We are more focused on the analytics component right now after COVID, so that the business is provided with insight, foresight, so that corrective action is to. So our reporting mode we are trying to change, but it requires a lot of efforts and the education to business users. So what happens is, like, currently the way of working is Excel based. It's a more of a report where the things have happened. So our objective now is to move to the analytics where we can provide based on the threshold limits or alerts.
Mr. Abe, sorry to intervene. Mr. Abe, sorry to intervene. Could you just switch on your camera? That will be helpful so that we can see you and we can experience in real time. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, yes. Please go on. Yeah.
So we have taken based on the business criticality, we have taken some decisions or some, like, so our approach during or pre-COVID was to start the pilot, understand the business pain point and work on that more from the business enabler point of view, not from the installing any product or like that. So that has helped us in ownership being transferred to business. Like we are, IT is just an enabler, but business owns the solution. They drive, they think, yes, it is helping them, and they push, yes, this is what is required. So that is where I got a lot of support from the business, that it is business driven, their ownership, what they want is you have to give. So that is another area where we focus, and that is helping us actually. And these are some of the things which we have done during last 12 to 14 months, actually, pre and post COVID.
Great, Mr. Abe. We could understand that since being the consumer product organization where the operations has to be contactless kind of a thing, especially during the COVID, I think your digital initiatives would have helped a lot to ensure that the contactless operations are happening. It is fantastic to understand from you about that. Let us hear from Mr. Shivshan since he also represents HRIS. So where it is quite interesting, it's not only during COVID. Let us understand from him about the how Jubilant Life Sciences is marching towards the digital journey, and what are all the emerging initiatives that's happening at Jubilant Life Sciences. We would love to hear from you, sir. You are on mute, sir.
Thanks, Subramaniam. Of course, during COVID, there were so much challenges, and it was not thought through because this all happened suddenly, and we all has to pack the things and make system, employees, and business as usual should run uninterrupted, right? So that's how this was a challenge, but of course. We as a system owner, we had to make things happen, and we never stop a single day of business getting impacted anywhere, whether related to system or related to your access or employee working towards their day-to-day activities. And that's how being in HR system, we have to look at the easiness of access of application, whether on laptop, machine, and your day-to-day activities, in progress. So, and as well as employee learnings to be there on track. So that's how I see we had to enable many things on mobile, easy to access, employees being wherever they are. We try to transport their laptops, their machine at their home address, and make sure that their access is uninterrupted. As well as like we thought through to how to make employee engage, and we enabled our learning management system on mobile with various different program and processes, and that's the one of the engagement created across Jubilant, and that really helps. We saw that even we have to strengthen our security in terms of company data, employee data, not going outside. So of course, the strengthening of security was taken during pandemic, and made sure that there is no data leakage out of the company and out of the employees dash. And that's how we took that. We enabled many security processes in place. Of course, having employee easy access on mobile, we had to see how like employee self-service, manager self-service easily given on mobile, so that you can approve without any hindrance, without logging to the system. Just you click and get into the system, and then approve absence, approve your day-to-day activities, approve procurement. So that all made on mobile. And of course, when you look at from the top, many leadership would like to see your dashboard coming in place, analytics in place. So we never stop even hiring. So every like leadership wanted to see where the progress is going. So of course, analytics is built in place. Your many dashboards like budget versus actuals has to be there in place. So that's how we built in analytics, and we enable the access easily to all that required stakeholders. And that's how today it's close to 11 months, I would say. We are working uninterrupted, and business as usual is in progress. And that's how this has happened. And this is learning going forward, that we are talking as of now that major workforce, except manufacturing and plant, they can even work from home. And that's how like normal other IT companies working on policies, whether to look at working from home, enablers, what all can be done for working from home, and how the business as usual can be uninterrupted while working from home. So that's how getting done, and we are in progress to make things happen as of today. So that's how I would say uh, this has the biggest learning for us, that anyone can work from anywhere, and that's what I can say out here in this forum. So over to you.
Yeah. So great to understand from you that the data sensitivity, especially the critical sensitivity of the data and the data governance and data privacy, plays a critical role, whether it is pandemic or out of pandemic, it plays a role. So digital enables such a sort of protecting the data. If it is in other forms or other ways, the protection of the data becomes a little worrying, bothersome. So we could understand from you, and also you have covered on very well about your current digital plans that's happening, whether it is anytime, anywhere kind of a thing. This is going to be the new normal. And as we move on from working from office, working from home, or hybrid working, so IT has to gear up as well as ensure that the right infrastructure is in place, as well as the kind of security, securing the every employee from various threats and challenges, especially when they are working from home. So we could understand so far with whoever we are discussing. I think I'm happy that especially TTK Prestige is also marching on the same direction, and we emphasize more and more on the protecting the data as well as the information assets, especially on the hybrid nature of working. So we will now hear from the other members about their digital journey as well as digital initiatives. Let us hear from Mr. Satish Roy. I hope
Yes.
he is part of this panel.
Yes, I am Mr. Subramaniam. Hope you can hear me.
Yeah, very well, Mr. Satish. Welcome. So we will understand from you what are all the digital initiatives that is going on, and also we will understand from you about what are all the next steps, since we are marching towards the end of the fiscal year. So
Yeah.
everyone, we would have started working on the next initiatives for next fiscal year. So we would understand from you. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. So probably maybe I will start it a bit earlier and try to put up a situation wherein if COVID had happened maybe in 2010 or maybe 2005, would you be, or would all the organization be able to handle that situation? And why I'm saying is because I think none of us were ready to handle that situation. I mean, this was one of the discussion I was having in my earlier meetings in one of other panels, and so probably we were not able to may not be able to handle that situation. Provided come 2020, probably COVID planned it in a way where it challenged organization to still work, and we had those solutions in this year. To my mind, organizations were better prepared. You have internet. Well, we were away from for internet. There was time where you used to have the dial-in option, and then you need to connect it, and then you would get 10 Gbps and 20 kbps speed kind of, which is not something which is going to be were able to even talk about the distillation at that point of time. But I think we are better equipped than those years coming in 2020. We talked about Microsoft Office 365. We talked about OneDrive. We talked about Teams. I think these are the equipments, these are the weapons which were enabled organization to function well, and that is where the readiness lies. We usually, I come from a multinational background where you don't have head offices within country. Then you need to work with the global teams and have alignment. Usually, if the organization size is large, then things takes time to roll out, and then ultimately when it comes down to the local, it takes a lot of time for us. But we were ready for that, and we actually, Office 365 was for us, we did it around 2017-18, and we were just in time. I mean, that's a supply chain concept which everyone talks about. So we got our teams installed around Jan-Feb, and that's where exactly the time where COVID was picking up, and we were just in time to deliver it, and we were able to get things moving. When employees started working, we already had teams available for them. Of course, the data still resides on OneDrive. A lot of companies operate on manual processes for the approval, the documents which flows from one table to another, and then you need to have signatures coming on all of them. Those are the processes which needed digitization, and that's where we focus our attention to, and we created a lot of solution around that, and that helped us to survive, and probably that's the case for other companies as well. One of the biggest achievement, if I talk about for us, was we were having this SAP migration project, and maybe 2-3 years back, or maybe a year back, we could have never thought of going for a ERP go live with a remote working. I think COVID has given us that opportunity to redo and relearn a lot of deployment as well. Of course, the deployment will have its own challenges when you're operating on remotely, but I think we utilized that and we planned it well. Deployment takes time if you're working on remotely, but I think for us the major achievement was to deploy one of the largest ERP SAP migration project, where we had about 35 clinics going live at a time, and then we have 5 odd clinics, 4 companies going on live at the same time with the remote situation. So for us, we adapted and worked to this new culture way of working. Yeah.
So thanks, Mr. Satish, for bringing in the points which are very helpful. We could see that the traditional approaches, whatever we were adopting, during the pandemic, it has changed a lot. And it is not only for any organization of any size, it is for everyone across the industry. It has, I will say that it has actually triggered or stimulated some sort of innovations. We could understand that whatever the approaches we were taking up for SAP implementation, I could recollect my thoughts during my earlier years of adoptions or migrations or greenfield implementations of the SAP. We could understand that, and during this pandemic, I think you have adopted a new set of practices wherein that would have given confidence for everyone. Now you can chalk out very confidently the new set of practices, which varies from the traditional approach.
Of course.
Traditional or conventional approach. Yeah. So let us hear from Mr. Prashant, that what kind of innovations, especially on the digital platforms or digital technologies, that is being leveraged for your organization?
Yeah, so thank you for the question. From my perspective, we have been doing this digital journey from couple of years. Just name some examples. Obviously, as Satish mentioned, we are using SAP, very heavily. So, including our HR processes is also part of SAP. We implemented certain processes, or we automated in the integrated way, so that it's not only digitalized. We also have a sort of saving on effort and cost by doing a lot of integration together. So to name few, we already has this travel expense, travel reimbursement, purchase process completely digitalized. If you talk about employee onboarding, and then we have in the plant a warehouse automation using the barcode, so you don't need to go for any paper or any documents. It's all digitalized. adding to the what Satish said, thankfully we were on time that all those digitalization already done even before the COVID arrived. So including let's say warehouse, which was the critical one. And then we recently also implemented one of the major digitalization project on the electronic lab notebook. So as a pharma company, whenever we are doing any testing, quality testing, or so, whether it's R&D or the QC, this electronic lab notebook on the paper, and so that we were already working on this from last 1 or 2 years, and we went live just before this pandemic by end of the year 2019. Which helped us a lot during this COVID period, because the moment COVID started, you have a lockdown and all those things. The major challenge was, how to access the systems, how to work from the home office or from the home. Being a pharmaceutical company, manufacturing company, we are not that equipped that everyone having a laptop can work from home or so. So what we did is that we enable immediately, arranging the laptop and then using the technology, enabling a virtual instances of the system, so making the possibility to access their virtual systems from the home. Because another challenge was the security is also a high risk. So we were already reading the articles and paper, everyone was talking about security incident is moving and moving. So we cannot do something which is basically compromising the security or there is a risk for the security. So what we did is that we leverage this Windows virtual desktop technology to allow the people to use their personal laptop or so to access their office machine without compromising the security, because then you cannot copy the data, you cannot download anything, you are also not part of the network from your local system. Yes, there were some systems, when we have VPN, so we have enough capacity for VPN. We were lucky having this bandwidth and this licenses, unlike other cases or other companies. This went well, and we enabled that. Even in IT systems, if the people are sitting at home, we were able to support them even at home. So we have those tools and weapons ready as part of life or our digital journey in the past. So we were doing it already. So this was basically a pre-COVID. And if I talk about the COVID cases, there are a couple of implementation done. Satish already mentioned about Office 365. Obviously, it's a global one, so it's a common for both. We were ready with this Office 365, which is useful because in the past, we didn't have a possibility to even access the email without the Office network. So you could access your email on the mobile or use the Teams or so. We were on Skype, but then it started, and then we started facing a problem because Microsoft was not investing in Skype. And then during the COVID lockdown, even this lockdown period of April and May, we roll out Teams completely for across the location, across the country for Kabi. That was the major challenge which we did. That was a global one, but for India, we did in this, even the lockdown period. We also introduced, because as a pharma company, we believe in signature. If any document we are going in preparing, following the 21 CFR Part 11, Annex 11, it has to be, the document should be proper in terms of integrity or so. So we introduced as a global solution the signature, whether it's a DocuSign or Adobe Sign. So it helps a lot in between, because when you are not present, you can sign the document from your home and you can do that. Then the business continue doing that, because there are a lot of documentation to be completed, even the lockdown being a pharma company. So we use this, the online procedures for online approvals and online signature to do that. Following the comment from one of the colleagues, like considering this situation of security, we also roll out the CrowdStrike in the same period to be at par on the security, not to compromise anything with the security. Apart from that, the other challenge was the financial payments, so invoicing payment and all those things. So we again enable the system on the fly to allow the finance department to make the payment by the soft copy of the invoices, not the physical one, because we had an option at this. Even though we apply everything online, then also the physical invoices has to there. So we made the arrangement by doing this online approval also for processing the invoices from the finance perspective. Yes, in this challenge, there was one more challenge, was to communicate with the team and the people sitting at home or sitting in the office. So we being a pharma company, we have a plant, so we never stopped. we continue work running in even this lockdown period also, because what we did is that there are some employee we stayed stayed near next to office, whatever the near hotel was available, and the plants were running 100%. I mean, plants were running continuously. With that, management wants to get the connection or the connect with this employee, to see what is going on even in the plant or at the home. So it was easy for the people to join from the home, having a team invite or so, but how to get the people who are in office? So on the fly, we just converted some areas, because one is that you need a space room to sit the people. Second is that the big problem is that social distancing. So social distancing has to maintain within the capacity. So we just converted some area to have the town hall meeting. We started doing the Teams live event, the town hall virtually. So this was also part of our kind of tool or support during the lockdown or during this pandemic period. So there are a couple of things which we have done, and we continue doing that, whether security improvement, digitalization, as part of our journey. So there are few example I made to just name few, but yeah, journey continues further.
Yeah. So wonderful, Mr. Prashant. You have talked about how the digital has enabled for compliance as well as the communication. It's a very strong thread between the executive management to the operational management, especially when physically people not around there in the offices. The communication is key. So we could understand that how you have made use of the digital environment for setting up the communication between the executive management as well as the operations teams as well as the employees. You are right, communication is very key, especially during the pandemic and in the new future also, when we are talking about the hybrid nature of the work. And so I could connect myself, and I could see that yes, we have made use of Teams for live streaming to 10,000 sub dealers or the partners community by addressed by the executive management for half a day workshop. In fact, we used to do gathering all 10,000 in one place, and then you can see the kind of mega event that was going on. Now actually this Teams has helped us a lot. Actually, it's not only cutting down the cost, the reach was very good, and also at the same time, it was very simple to set up and operate. I could recollect myself when we have done last during the last April, and the management was very happy with that. So, having said about that, now quickly, in the interest of time, what we will do, we will understand about the emerging technologies, the noble technologies like artificial intelligence, machine learning, IoT. So, in the years to come, how these digital technologies or the smart technologies are going to help in your organization? What are your plans? So, if you say a few words quickly, so that that becomes better for others as well as for everyone to understand. Mr. Abe, could you just start from your side?
Yeah. So like this is again like if you say IoT, RPA, AI, ML, we started journey almost 3 years back, and the first challenge on the IoT was the security. Yes, definitely. And the other thing is like you generating the data from different machines at across the plant. So that is another way of looking into that. That right now all the things are manual, like in the logs which are written. Now what has happened is like we are more focusing on the utility cost, which contributes major component of cost, say electricity, water, gas, steam, which are the key components, and against the threshold against the other companies. So what we have done is we have installed almost 20,000 tags in different plants, getting every 15 minutes data of these, and then analyzing. And the objective was to have a edge computing in place so that the operator level, plant head level, or the technical head level, all the informations are at the right time instead of post facto. And all these are mm, against the threshold of the which is defined in bills of material is taken care actually. So we have started this journey, but it has taken almost 2 years to reach at this stage. Now it's a more of AI, ML, and deep learning. AI will we have used in predictive maintenance, but we are working on other areas so that we can use. Machine learning again will depend on good quality of AI data, which is now building up, and RPA is the another area where we are focusing so that to improve the efficiency of at the processing level, especially for finance team. So these are the areas where we are focused, and
Fantastic.
and another area is like, from customer side or vendor side. So both the areas we are trying to integrate, more focused on the modern store format stores, like, so where the ordering was earlier manual or through PDF and all those are all removed. Now the automatically the moment order goes down in the customer's outlet, based on the inventory norms defined at the these modern format stores, the automatic order comes, nobody reads it, nobody scanning, no manual work, and we are able to process 3 times more orders with the same resource. Okay, so that we
Fantastic.
have already done. And at the warehouse level also, we have multiple warehouse across India. So the challenge was in fruit product, the shelf life is very important. So what we did is like, and a product can be produced in multiple batch, and when you deliver to the customer, they want that the lifestyle of the shelf life of the product should be 75%. So what we have enabled is redesign our warehouse, used augmented reality where which product, which batch is lying, so that we reduce the turnaround time of at the warehouse. So that's how we have worked right now, and it's a continuous journey, and adding more analytics or command centers for logistic, for procurement, so that the decisions are taken at the right level. Actually,
Yeah.
so that's how we have
Great
worked.
to hear, Mr. Abe. I think in the interest of time, let us hear from others. Digital is omnipresent. It is everywhere, not only for employees, for customers, as well as the partners. Let us understand from Mr. Shivshant more how digital, what are the plans you have in the forthcoming year as well as in future. Few words from you.
Yes, thanks, Ramasubramaniam. As the budget has been like finalized and it's happened everywhere, right? So there are a few things, of course, we have to, that also plan has been made to enable creating large database lake. And if you have a organization-wise database lake, then of course you can use AI/ML as Abhay said rightly. All organization is looking how that analytics can be simplified in various area, like from manufacturing productions to HR base, and seeing that futuristic data, like based on the existing data. So that's how our budget is for this year to build complete data lake of all that different systems, whether SAP, whether Oracle, whether existing other products, and see that data consolidation in one place, and then looking after the productivity metrics. So that's how we are looking for this year and coming year. Of course, there is new thing which pandemic has made us to enable, that is blockchain process, like avoiding manual processes. So we are looking for blockchain in terms of supply chain processes, direct from supply chain transactions to selling to the selling product to other company and then payouts. So it's both way, like either banking transactions through your system and then receiving transactions through other system. So that's how we are trying to make this blockchain to be part of this. And on the top, of course, analytics everywhere. And that's how AI/ML, Abhay rightly said, AI/ML is going to play bigger role, coming year. And of course, Jubilant also has decided to work on analytics rigorously to help organization and leadership to get the data in place. And that's how we are, focused
Fantastic.
to get this happen. Thanks, Ramasubramaniam.
Yeah, great. So, data-driven enterprise, we could see that your enterprise is becoming a data-driven enterprise, and you are right that data is a ocean where you have to churn out the right data for right use at right time for right user. It's wonderful taking down the points from you. In fact, analytics is one of the area where it is getting many preferences by the business teams today, and not only by the execution management, even for the tacit management as well as the operating management, data is important and it is playing a key role. And analytics is at their level, bringing in the dashboards and as well as slice the data to view what it is happening. It is very essential and it is an important one for every employee in an organization. Great to hear about that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Fantastic. So, in the interest of time, now we will understand from Mr. Ketan that how it is helping or what sort of programs Mr. Ketan is having for Clariant in the coming days, especially on the digital emerging technologies. Few words from you.
Sure, and I'll be very brief because we have already, kind of overshot. So,
Yeah.
we believed that omni-channel is going to be the thing of the future, wherein our end customers, they should have multiple channels to reach us. It can be a message, a phone call, an email, a chat. So that's the omni-channel. So we have introduced a lot of chatbots, okay, which customers can any 24 hours just connect to us, and we can answer their queries. Then we do use a lot of AR and VR. We especially use VR for a lot of our trainings, because we being a chemical company, and we need to do a lot of the safety hazard training. And now VR has really changed, because earlier we used to show some videos, share some slides. Now with virtual reality, you can have the training actually part of an incident, surrounded by fire maybe, and then so it's live training. So that really added a lot of value. Then as I mentioned earlier, we plan to do some predictive maintenance initiatives onto our plants, wherein we have some intelligence and we come to know what is happening with the machine, whether it's running fine, or whether it will kind of go bad,
Great.
using sensors and all. And also, then apart from that, RPA, we also partner with Amazon for data lake, and we use a lot of Power BI for for a lot of analytics. So yeah, just in brief.
So thanks a lot. So in the interest of time, I think once again we have to converge in another session. Yes, digital is omnipresent everywhere, and we have to choose the right technology for right use. It's not only a jargon or a buzzword. So we have to see that really it means bringing in business growth as well as bringing in the productivity, effectiveness on the employees as well as customer experience, whatnot. So when we are talking about the digital, the compliance, governance, as well as security are imminent, and digital is enabling all these areas also. So in the interest of time, thanks once again, Mr. Prashant, Mr. Abhay, as well as Mr. Satish, Ketan, as well as Mr. Rajesh. We will connect once again in another session. So thanks a lot for joining. Thanks Ignite team for setting up this platform for us to share our thoughts as well as our plans towards the digital. Stay safe, stay healthy. Thanks a lot. We will connect once again.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you all. Bye.
Thank you. Yeah.